Mark. I'm a school counselor here. I've been one for about 6 years, and I'd like to introduce myself to you and this group. This group is called Positive Skills for Controlling Your Anger, and the purpose. Actually, I should begin by stating that you were chosen to participate in this group by people who care about you, and have noticed that you may have had issues controlling your anger. And so I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. The purpose of this group is to provide a safe environment for students to express themselves. We want to promote awareness that anger is normal. We want you to understand that certain behaviors are unacceptable. And we want to teach you strategies to choose alternatives when angry and encourage honest expression and exploration of anger and its consequences. I know it seems all heavy, but maybe we can break it up a little bit. Can I have you guys maybe introduce yourselves?
My name's Sean.
Hi, Sean. And what grade are you in, Sean?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Thanks, Sean. Hi.
Hi, my name is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm in 9th grade.
Hi, thank you.
My name's Rebecca, and I'm in 12th grade.
Thank you again. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about before we begin any group is confidentiality. And so I've printed out a confidentiality statement, and I was wondering, perhaps, Rebecca, if you could read this out loud to everybody?
Sure. Confidentiality agreement. You have the right to confidentiality and privacy by the group leaders and other group members. Confidentiality within the group setting is a shared responsibility of all members and leaders. While group leaders may not disclose any client communications or information except as provided by law, group members' communications are not protected. As such, confidentiality within the group setting is often based on mutual trust and respect.
Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, now does anyone have any questions? Does any of that not make sense or make complete sense, or anyone just have a statement about that?
How long is it going to take?
This program? So maybe 45-minute sessions. You know, we'll kind of see how it goes as we get through it, but I understand maybe not too excited about being here.
How many sessions are there?
I'm thinking there'll probably be 3. All right.
So for confidentiality,
Oh, yeah.
that's more like whatever we're saying here, you can't tell our parents.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we can tell you anything you can't tell our parents?
Well, there are certain mandated rules that, of course, we have to report, such as abuse. But generally speaking, yes. Everything that we say in here has to stay confidential. But that also applies to each and every person in this room. So if Sean, if Rebecca says something that she would like to keep confidential, then outside of this room, we would expect you and Kim to keep that information confidential as well.
So you can't go and tell anybody out there.
I guess that's what she said. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is develop and establish some group rules. And there are certain group rules that are kind of common. Does anybody know any offhand?
I guess we have to be respectful towards each other. Can't call each other names.
Perfect, that's exactly correct. Thank you, Kim.
Be on time, I guess, for the meeting.
Be on time, exactly, thank you. Rebecca, do you have any?
Maybe just don't interrupt people.
Thank you, yeah, maybe one person speaks at a time. Also, let's remember no put downs, be supportive. And then, of course, we have to mention electronic devices, if you can. Turn off your phones or your iPods and that kind of thing.
With an E in there?
Yeah, of course, I guess if you need to, sure, we can do that. All right, so now that we've established some group rules, any other questions in regarding our rules or anything like that? No? Okay. So what I'd like to do now is an activity. What we're going to do is, I've called this the Desert Island Activity. And I'm going to announce a statement, and then I'd like you guys to help me by answering this on the papers that you've written. Okay. You need to use the rest of them?
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to use
please
this.
go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. You've been exiled to a deserted island for a year. In addition to the essentials, you may take one piece of music, one book, which is not a Bible, and one luxury item that you can carry with you. So not a boat that you can leave the island with. What would you take and why? Hi, thank you. Rebecca, did you get a chance to hear that icebreaker question?
No, I didn't, I'm sorry.
You've been exiled to a deserted island for a year. In addition to the essentials, you may take one piece of music, one book, which is not a Bible, and one luxury item that you can carry with you, not a boat that leave the island with. What would you take and why?
I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Well, a few more minutes for everybody else. Okay, if we can start with Kim.
Okay, so let's see. So my one piece of music would be my all-time favorite band is Coconuts Pocket.
Oh,
So I would definitely want to bring one of their CDs because it brings back a lot of memories. For some good times that happened. So I want it, kind of takes me back. The second book that is a book I would bring would be A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And first off, it's 1,000 pages, so it's really long. So if I get bored, I can read. And it was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. And the third would be a luxury item, and I would have to say my phone, even though I know there probably wouldn't be any service on an island, but I might still be able to play some Candy Crush. So,
excellent. Thank you, Kim. That's perfect. Sean, yes?
How would you charge your phone?
right?
Coconuts, maybe?
Solar.
Yeah, solar. There we
Have
go.
a solar charger that would go with me.
I like that. Thanks. What did you write, Sean?
For music, I put the Pink Floyd box set, because that has a lot of really good music on there that would help me to not get lonely and not get bored. And for the book, I would take the SAS Survival Handbook. I think that kind of speaks for itself as to why. By the time, if I was there for a year with that thing, by the time they found me, I'm not sure if I would want to leave. I have a pretty sweet setup.
No kidding.
And then for a luxury item, a supply of toilet paper. Because I don't like wiping my butt with leaves and rocks.
Okay, but don't forget, all your essentials are provided for you.
Oh.
In
Okay.
addition to the essentials, you may take one piece of these. So you don't need to bring toilet paper.
Okay. Probably a fishing pole.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Okay, Rebecca, what would you like to?
My book would be Pride and Prejudice because it's just a beautiful love story and it's just beautiful. And my music would probably be Willie Nelson because it reminds me of my dad and it soothes my soul. Willie Nelson's greatest hits. And I would bring a cushy blanket, but I don't know if that was going to be part of the necessary supplies. I want a cushy blanket because I don't want to sleep on rocks. I
Yeah,
want a
no,
blanket
that's-
to envelop myself in.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
be
a
cushy.
luxury item, no.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, I want a big, big.
Yeah, I would
cushy
consider that,
cashmere.
because I think essential means just a big
Yes,
little
that's what I would
solar
bring, my
blanket
favorite
or something.
blanket.
So maybe like a blanket grandma would or something.
Yeah, something big and big, so I can wrap myself up in it.
Those are great answers. I appreciate you guys helping me out. Any questions?
That was pretty cool. Makes you think.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if I couldn't have my phone?
Do you guys think you could actually survive for a year by yourself? And then
I think Sean could.
you think you could, Sean?
Oh, yeah.
Survive for a year by yourself?
I'd be happy.
Do you feel that you would miss people?
At times, I'm sure. Yeah, at times, most definitely. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to see.
But I would get over it.
Once, I imagine once you established your surroundings and you were relaxing, I imagine at that point it probably.
Yeah. I saw a thing on TV one time, and the guy said, you know, like, if you're stuck somewhere and you know you're stuck there, don't fight it, make it your home. And if you take that mindset, I think, you know, then
That's really interesting because that might apply to just about any situation.
good.
School.
I don't know about making school my home.
No,
There.
but you know, making the best of a bad situation perhaps.
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
that school's bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So let's go kind of get back to our original topic, which is positive skills for controlling your anger. And so I'd like to kind of get into some of the essential questions that we're going to cover today. And that essentially is think of a time or a situation where you became angry over something and handled it in a negative way. And then thinking back, how could you have handled that situation differently? And then before I ask you guys to participate, let me kind of provide you with a little bit of a personal experience that I had. I want you guys to understand that anger is normal and that it's also something that almost everybody deals with. And there's really nobody immune to it. What happens with anger is that when you can't control it, is when you're going to get in trouble. But the actual expression, the feeling of anger is something that we all go through. My personal situation was road rage. For some reason, I lose my patience quite easily. But in this situation, this was a bad driver in front of me who was purposely trying to annoy me for whatever reason. I wasn't tailgating them. I was just on my way to work, and I could see them laughing in the rearview mirror, him and his companion, and they would purposely prevent me from getting past them, and they were going 35 on a 55 road. The whole situation just kept increasingly making me angrier and angrier, to the point where I just eventually laid on the horn and didn't let off the horn for what seemed like 2 minutes. The whole thing probably took no more than 30 seconds, but the whole incident took forever. And the horn situation really kind of escalated them and made them more angry, and the situation dissipated, but it could have gotten out of hand. And I really feel like I shouldn't have laid on the horn, because I almost prompted them to continue the engagement. So looking back, I would have not laid on that horn. I would have just continued to drive behind them at a safe distance until they got bored with what they were doing and driven away.
Yeah, that happened to my dad once. He did that, and he made somebody so mad that when he got off of the freeway, they pulled up right behind him, and they got out and they wanted him to fight.
Holy cow.
No way, someone to fight your dad?
Yeah, well, they were being jerks on the
Pride
road.
was correct.
I'm sure.
So they ended up, my dad got out of the car, but then my mom told him not to get out of the car because, we don't know what the guy could have had. So yeah, no, my dad has bad road rage too.
Wow. How did that incident resolve?
Basically, we got it and sped away, and they
Yeah.
couldn't catch up with us.
Wow.
But yeah, it was pretty scary because you don't know. My dad has temper problems, which is kind of why I have temper problems. So
I would kick their ass.
yeah, well, yeah, my dad's Asian, so
Wow.
he's a little Asian.
How about a personal experience? Do you have anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I kind of got into some trouble last week. I have two sisters, and they're younger, and we were doing something, and I don't remember what it was, but we were doing something, and one of my sisters really made me mad. So I grabbed her by the hair and I pushed her up against the wall, and I didn't do it on purpose really, but she banged her head, and then she called my mom, and then my mom came, and my mom threatened to call the the police on me because she said that, I shouldn't be beating up my sisters. But, she really pissed me off. I mean, she wasn't listening to me, and I told her to go do this, and she didn't. And so, yeah, I just got really mad, and then I kind of blacked out. And now that I think about it, I guess, she's younger, she doesn't know as much as I do, or anything like that.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess I just need to learn how to not let little things like that, because I really could have hurt her. She had a bump on her head for like a day or so, and I felt really bad.
Right, because I mean, picture someone else, some stranger doing that to your sister.
Yeah.
And how would that have made you
Oh, I
feel?
kicked their butt.
Exactly.
I totally kicked their butt.
Right, so, yeah.
So yeah, I know that I really could have hurt her and could have sent her to the hospital, but yeah, something I want to work on.
Definitely, and just acknowledging that sometimes is half the battle, so thank you, Kim, that's great. Rebecca, would you like to share one?
Time I was angry. Yeah, one time there was this girl, and for no reason, I don't know, for no reason that I know of, we were walking down the hall, she was coming this way, I was going that way, and she was just like, hey, bitch. And I didn't like that. It's like, you girls.
Wow.
You heard her real bad?
No, they said I did, but I didn't. I think a lot of it was she was putting it on, but no, I just banged her against the locker a few times.
Wow. So looking back,
Yeah.
how do you, any regrets? You think maybe you could have just let that one go?
Probably should have, but I didn't feel like that at the time. I felt like beating her head in.
Well, she probably deserved it. You don't call somebody the B word.
You suppose you were joking? Was angry?
No, I think she thinks I'm messing around with her boyfriend, and I'm not. And I think that's why. But she won't come out and call me out on it. She just calls me bitch as she walks by me in the hallway, and I got tired of that shit.
I understand.
I'm not messing with her boyfriend. He's a skinny ass, scrawny ass
Alright.
skater. I'm not into skater
Okay,
dudes.
I get it.
So,
But I want you to recognize that, that kind of behavior is unacceptable. There's going to be moments where people are going to say things to you, or going to call you names, perhaps. You're not going to be able to respond like that. Do you understand? Does that ring a
well,
bell?
next time no one's gonna see me respond. It's not gonna be at school, so we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Why do you have to let somebody call you a bitch? I mean, why do you have to not respond to something like, if somebody calls me a name, I'm
No, you're not a girl. It's different when you're a girl.
Sure.
well, I guess if they
Yeah,
call me
because when
a
a
bitch.
girl calls you
well,
a bitch, she's calling you out. It's like, yeah, you know.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Still there.
No,
Well, and what he's saying
What
is,
I'm asking the counselor is
why-
why do you have to just let that go? I mean.
so there's really there's an honest answer to that, and the honest answer is that as adults, we are simply not allowed to handle any situation with violence or aggression. Quite simply, the law gets involved, and once that happens, then your life will take a route that's probably not conducive to accelerating and promoting and getting through this journey. So what I'm saying is, as 18-year-olds, you simply can't. You'll go to jail. But in the bigger picture, a civilized society doesn't need to operate in that kind of fashion. So it'd be like a student calling me that name in the hallway. If I just went off and started hitting that child, there'd be no excuse. And the reason, even in the eyes of students, they would look at me like, wow, that teacher just beat up that student. And that's because we recognize that as adults, we're not allowed, we're not supposed to handle our situations like that.
Have you ever been to juvie?
No.
You go to juvie
You're
too.
kidding,
You
my
don't even
dad
have
would
to be
kill
an
me
adult.
if I went to the juvenile hall. I would be sitting here, I'd be dead.
Okay. Well, so think about that the next time someone calls you a name, because those consequences, actions do have consequences sometimes.
Yeah.
So
What's your?
Oh yeah, what's Sean? Why are you here?
Because I called somebody a name.
okay, well it's humorous because we just got done talking about why that's not appropriate. perhaps I should have let you go first, but that's good. That's part of what group's about. So tell us a little bit more about this situation.
Well, in my science class, my teacher asked who knew the answer, and I raised my hand, and then I was given the answer, and then he said something, and I thought he was making fun of me, and it really made me mad, so I called him an asshole, and then he made me go to the principal office, and then, you know, they called my parents, and maybe that's probably who cares about me, why I had to come here.
Your parents signed that paper.
Sure. So, can you honestly say that the teacher wasn't making fun of you, or do you just simply believe that he might have been?
Well, I mean,
Was it very obvious? Was he mocking you openly, or?
maybe it was just me, maybe, I don't know, maybe, I mean,
What I mean by that is, if the teacher was teasing you, and he saw you react in the way you did, most teachers, adults, would say, hey, wait a minute, you misunderstood me, I was joking with you. He never said that.
well, he's old, I mean, you know, and, I don't know,
Was it Mr. Rogers?
he doesn't seem to have a lot of patience, no, but,
Sure.
and so I don't know,
But use this as a learning example, because in that situation, had you used your words other than being profane, you could have made him feel like the bad guy in this situation. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, I don't appreciate you openly mocking me or embarrassing me in front of my peers. You know, if you say something like that to an adult, it makes the adult respond to you as if you're an adult, rather than, you know, the minute you said a-hole, he suddenly became the all-powerful teacher who had all the power to send you out of the classroom. Had you responded in a civilized manner, without using any profanity, he wouldn't be able to send you to the principal's office. What would he say? Sean was speaking to me like an adult. He was discouraged by, you know, the actions that happened. He wouldn't be able to do those things. So think about that next time, perhaps, and it might help you get through that.
Did you get in trouble when you got home?
yeah.
That sucks.
Well, hopefully we can, you know, make it through this class and of course, and you know, feel better. So, any other questions?
No? Sucks.
Are we done?
That does wrap up today's session. I thank you again. The next time we meet, we're going to go over some of our incidences that you described, maybe in a role-playing situation, and we'll further analyze some of this information and continue to have fun. I appreciate you guys helping me out. Thank you again. All right.